Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Transforming Rose has indeed got an EZA is coming for part 3. We have a bunch of part 3 news as well, which we'll go over. I will leave the link down in the description for the Dokkan Wiki and the Twitter account, because they're literally the only ones right now who do have the details for Rose. Let's go through them. So he is going to lead Time Travelers by 170 and Extreme Int with Key +3, HP and Attack and Defense +120. Of course, his main selling point is he does stack by 50% every time he supers, causes immense damage to your enemy and lowers attack. This is new. It would have been nice if he got some attack for the turn, just give him like 30% for the turn. Like, it's not the be all and end all, it's not important, but it would have been nice if you just got like attack for the turn. But I mean, the stacking of the defense is fine. So now at the start of turn, he does get Key +2 and Attack and Defense +80%. Is that it? Just 80? I know he gets more in his passive, but like 80? I mean, that's not bad. Then gets an additional attack +40% up to 120% and defense +30% up to 60% at the start of each turn. So you're gonna have to wait for this. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait 3 turns for this, which is not too long. You're gonna have to wait 2 turns for this, which really isn't that long at all. He then keeps the chance bomb to critical hit +10% of each stat received up to 40%. I mean, just having this built in isn't bad. I think that's quite nice. Launches 2 additional attacks, that's good, each of which has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack when there is a superclass enemy. Why? Why when there is a superclass enemy? This is a unit, or at least in base right now, because we haven't seen his Rose details, but this is a unit that in base relies on stacking. There's no damage reduction, there's no guard, there's no built-in dodge, there's built-in crit, sure, but he doesn't have any extra defensive, you know, prowess about him. In base, he solely relies on his stats, which is him stacking. Why would you give him 2 additionals and lock them behind facing superclass enemies? Dokkan, your difficult content in the entire game is based around extreme class units. Why have you locked his additionals, which would help him out immensely, behind superclass enemies? Red Zone, all extreme class enemies aside from the Gammas. Even the new Dismal Future edition of Red Zone, all extreme class enemies. Birth of the Shadow Dragon event, Sin is an extreme class enemy. On JP, Omega is an extreme class enemy. So what you're telling me is a unit that really relies on stacking doesn't have any additionals whatsoever unless you're facing a superclass enemy. Sword of Hope Trunks has additionals that help him out for the turn while he's stacking. Tech Transforming Trunks, stacks galore. You have to wait for one of them, but still, he can super like 3-4 times in one turn. AGL Zamasu, stacks, has built-in additional. Why have you locked it behind superclass enemies? Do you know how much that's going to hurt him, especially in base? Because that means the majority of the time you're going to stack once, maybe twice if you have dupes, but for the most part, once in a turn. And that's it, before you transform. Now granted, he does carry on stacking when he goes into Rose. But what's that? AGL Zamasu stacks defense, I'm pretty sure, from base. I don't get why you would lock the additionals behind a superclass enemy. Like maybe have an extra, maybe have a guaranteed additional behind a superclass enemy, then have these 2 just standard. But how have you locked all of his additionals behind superclass enemies? Unless they're planning like some superclass ultra difficult content, which I say this all the time and it never happens. I don't get why they would do that. That's really stupid. This is a unit, unless he goes into Rose and has like guard and stuff, then sure. But if he doesn't, this is terrible. This is terrible. So when he transforms, of course, he keeps stacking. No raise, no. Why? No SA effect on raising attack on Super EVA. I mean, that's not the end of the world. But again, like nothing in attack. Cause immense damage to the enemy, lowers attack and defense. He now gets attack +250%, defense +150%, and chance for a critical hit +50%. So he retains, of course, the built-in crit, which is nice. plus an additional attack plus 10% of each attack performed up to 50%. Extreme class allies key plus 3 and attack plus 30%. The support's really nice. I actually want him to get full-blown support like attack and defense, but just the attack's fine. Launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack. Okay, so he does get a built-in additional once he's in Rose. Okay, that's fine. 50% chance is also fine. Launches another additional attack that's a high chance of becoming a super attack. Why? Stop! Why do you keep attaching his additionals to superclass enemies? Dokkan, do you not understand? Like, you've made these red zone stages, right? The new ones. Do you not understand that Cell, Rose and Zamasu are doing like 1.3 to 1.6 million on the super? Like that. Do you not understand? Their basics are like 500k. Goku Black, all he has to rely on is stacking defense. Even in Rose, he just has to rely on stacking defense. And don't forget, this man doesn't automatically transform. It's not like Trunks and Zamasu where it just happens the next turn. No, he has a condition, which we'll see if they end up changing it, because he transforms like turn 6, so hopefully it's like they drop it down to 5 or 4. I mean, he's going to need it to get that additional, but he has nothing else to rely on apart from stats, the same way Trunks does. But Trunks transforms immediately the next turn he appears, and then can super like 3-4 times in one turn, then can super another time with the potential system. But you've locked Goku Black's additionals all behind superclass enemies and base, which means he's gonna hardly stack whatsoever, which means in all the new content, he's gonna get battered. Then when he transforms to Rose, he only has one additional that you can get while facing most of the difficult content in the game. The other ones, again, attach behind superclass enemies. If you're gonna attach any additionals behind like a specific restriction, make it guaranteed. Give him 2 normal ones here, or like give him an additional after like so many turns or whatever it is, or so many attacks performed, and then have a guaranteed additional locked behind the superclass enemies. This is a unit that relies on stacking. This is a unit that relies on stacking up his defense. He doesn't have damage reduction, doesn't have guard. He has nothing else going for him. I can't lie, I was actually so excited when I woke up and saw this, or like this morning. Like, I literally saw it, closed Twitter, and I was like, I've got to go make a video on this. Like, I can't wait. Like, my boy finally got an EZA, and it's terrible. Sucks. It sucks. Like, he's just not good. Like, sure, with the built-in crit and that, he's going to be able to do some damage. Again, I don't know why they didn't give him the attack SA effect in Rose. The built-in crit's really nice. The support's nice. He's just not going to be good enough. He's not going to be good enough. Like, just relying on his defense, and he barely gets to stack. What are you thinking? Again, unless you were going to give him damage reduction or guard, sure. I don't get how you messed this one up. You killed it with AGL Zamasu. Trunks, while he can be very vulnerable in like the first couple turns in Super Saiyan, he easily makes up with that with the amount he super attacks. Could have taken some of that inspiration here. EZA Future Gohan's good. Like, and even like the side EZAs, Zamasu and Trunks are really good. Like, Zamasu's amazing. But Rose is actually shit. Well, we're just going to move on. I can't believe they actually flopped his EZA that massively. So, of course, we're going to be getting another stage of the Dismal Future of Red Zone, which is going to be stage 5. It is indeed going to be against Merge Zamasu. It's going to be very intriguing to see if they're going to add, like, you know, a phase that's against Infinite Zamasu, or kind of like a Call of Core situation where maybe you face Infinite. I don't know why they do it like this, but Infinite Zamasu as the first phase, and you're kind of locked in for so many turns, and you just basically have to survive and, you know, build up your units, then go into Merge Zamasu. Quite curious to see how they do it, or if it's just going to be like 2 phases, 3 phases of just Merge Zamasu. Also going to be getting stage 8 and 9 of the Divine Wrath Immortal Will event. Whoever made this little like art, very nice. Clearly they didn't take the same like time and consideration into Rose's EZA. But from the thing, as you can see, we're probably going to be facing Sword of Hope Trunks and also Merge Zamasu as well. And then we're also going to be getting new stages of the story event. And you're going to be able to get EX skill orbs for this Trunks, which is quite nice. And also on top of that, we are indeed going to be getting EZAs, not only for that int trunks, but also EZA for the strength trunks, the free-to-play one. So I was right. They Dokkan Awaken these units in this celebration, and also they're going to be getting EZAs. Are they in the schedule yet? No, they're not in the schedule yet. But yeah, the 2 free-to-play trunks are indeed getting EZAs. Hopefully they're somewhat usable. They don't have to be like red zone worthy, but hopefully they're somewhat usable and not kind of like forgettable. But that's all the new stuff coming in part 3. Content wise, very good, very nice. EZA wise, in terms of Rose, he's actually terrible. I can't believe they flopped his EZA so much. I was really looking forward to his EZA, especially there not being a part 2 Carnival LR Rose. I was like, as long as they kill it with the EZA, I don't mind. I don't know, last time there was, you know, last time JP wasn't happy with an EZA in the free-to-play LRVB, they managed to get it fixed. So hopefully between now and his release, hopefully the JP player base can do something and they can change it, because he is just not good enough in the slightest. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I can't imagine too many of you are happy. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.